Hey folks, if you're like me, then you've probably experienced your fair share of deaths in Tears of the Kingdom. The difficulty is a significant step up from Breath of the Wild, particularly in the early game, whilst not turning it into a Dark Souls game, but it certainly felt like one.
Come on now, Mr. So-called Hyrule, so-called gamer.
What is going on right now?
Holy sh**. Adam, are you serious? Are you seriously this bad at the game?
The only thing whistling between your ears is air. Stupid Scottish milkman.
Can't be serious, dude. I hate to say skill issue, but I mean, sometimes it's applicable here.
We all know, let's not lie to one another. It's those short little prehistoric Scottish fingers of yours holding you back, isn't it?
Oh my god, Adam. You need to get good.
It just goes to show you. You know, you can theorize all you like, but at the end of the day, if you've got the skill of a football player with no toes and a crippling fear of grass, it doesn't make any difference, does it? Get good.
Stupid Scottish milkman.
I expected better, honestly.
But it isn't the difficulty and threats that led to every single death I've put Link through. I swear I'm good at games. In fact, that's probably just the minority. Instead, I've had some pretty embarrassing deaths in the game. From diving off sky islands before having my paraglider, to disregarding the fact that Zonai flying machines require batteries to keep up. Among many others. In today's video, I thought it'd be fun to go over some first types of deaths in Tears of the Kingdom, as I'm sure one of these was probably at least somebody's first death in the game. Prepare to cringe at my pro gamer moves and embarrassing deaths. But first, as always around these parts, be sure to go and grab yourself a snack or drink and send them in on the socials link below to get featured right here. And let's get into this one. Alright you lovely folks, here is the goal of today's video. Naming the death type you first experienced in Tears of the Kingdom. If you're up for it, get a comment started with your first death type and let's come back to it at the end and see if I got your first death type correct. If I managed to name yours, then subscribing for more fabulous Zelda content would be massively appreciated. If you are already, then a like would be awesome. Let's have it. The Keen Diver. Come on, you know this has happened to you at least once. I say that because it's happened to me at least more than once. Perhaps I was too used to Breath of the Wild going into the game, but I tell you what, when you first start roaming the Great Sky Island, I genuinely was very keen to try the new diving mechanics. The trailers leading up to the game really showed Link diving off and it just looked so epic, but I was a bit too keen and didn't realise the game does trap you here at first. Somehow, I didn't learn after the first fall, and somehow even got more ambitious when jumping from island to island. Yeah, being a keen diver isn't particularly a great thing when you've just started the game. Likes a bit too much for my liking. The new enemies introduced and reintroduced in Tears of the Kingdom were a great breath of fresh air. Gleeoks, Aerokuda, Horoblins, and even the return of Likes. The moist, uncomfortable looking and sounding, slimy boys, I guess. I don't want to say what I'm really thinking here. They can be found on walls and ceilings and mostly look like something you'd want to get up real close to. Don't. Be safe and stay away from these new enemies. They will suck you up. And you don't want to see and or hear the noises that occur when Link is deep inside one of these. I just don't really like them. The Bomberman Fan. No, unfortunately not the video game Bomberman, but rather those who love to play with bombs but aren't necessarily careful enough to do so. AKA, me when making my way up to the Wind Temple. I was still learning the ropes and fused a Zonai time bomb to my spear, not knowing it would still be active as a bomb despite being fused to my weapon. I used it to activate a flame emitter to ascend upwards, and this is what happened. Fun fact, that is the real footage of when I did it. Yup, please be careful when playing with bombs folks. It cost Link's life on more than one occasion for me. The Forgetful Diver. Going back to the Sky Islands and jumping off of them, this next type of death to go over is one I found happening to myself pretty often early on in my playthrough. Diving off the Sky Islands is an extremely breathtaking experience, looking out to the horizon as Link free falls, catching glimpses of other Sky Islands as you descend, and if you're lucky, maybe even catching a star fragment as you go. It's so beautiful, so much so that I just can't take my eyes off it sometimes, and just sit there mesmerized as Link falls through the sky. Oh. Yep, this happened more than I'd like to admit. I call this one the Forgetful Diver, as seen in the thumbnail. The Dragon Enthusiast. Dragon these nuts. I love dragons. Do you love dragons? Well, if you do, then you're in luck. Because Tears of the Kingdom is full of them. From friendly dragons, which I believe were once Zonai people, to this absolutely ordinary, nothing going on at all dragon. To the reintroduced to the series and debuting in the 3D setting, Gleeok. Three-headed dragons with a variety of elements. I love these babies, and wish I could cuddle them, but if you're a little too keen of a dragon enthusiast, you'll unfortunately learn the hard way that you really need to keep your distance, or these beasts will let you know who's boss. It sucks being a dragon fan sometimes. I just want to get close. But then, you know, chomp. In too deep. No, unfortunately Sum 41 is not joining me today, but rather I'm sharing with you a horrifying experience I myself have had within the depths. Yup, I got in way too deep and way too quick. Long story short, I went into the depths as I thought they were cool. The lights were not on all that much, and before I knew it, the stuff of nightmares was leaping, yes, leaping, high into the air and charging at me. Yeah, I encountered my first frogs in near darkness and it was bloody terrifying. I am still pissing myself to this day. It's basically a giant killer frog and it served me well. Literally. It bulldozed me, and anyone else who has experienced a death because of one of these creatures, I am so sorry you had to go through that. They are truly terrifying, yet somehow not the most terrifying encounter I'll be bringing up in this video. If you know, you know. The Outta Battery. The new Zonai tech is pretty cool, I must admit, but what I also must admit is the amount of times I was cruising, flying through the skies of Hyrule, and wasn't used to the fact that these builds run on batteries. Looks like somebody went for the knockoff brand of energy cells and it bit them in the back. Yeah, I fell down on a few different occasions because I forgot to charge my builds. And yeah, you can probably guess how that went at these sorts of heights. The Noob. A classic first death in Zelda games comes from just a lack of experience and or focus, forgetting which button is used to attack enemies and as a result, getting smacked by them as you try to take a selfie instead. I didn't know Link had Instagram, but damn boy, you're looking fine. Or maybe it's not thinking before going into battle and throwing all of your very good weapons at enemies thinking that's a good idea, but you don't realise how bad a position that leaves you in. Or maybe you just straight up need to get good. That one's me. If this is your first death type in Tears of the Kingdom, then I'm sorry, you're a noob. It's just time for you to get good and stop putting Link through these silly deaths. Get good, noobs. Wrong time, wrong place. This one is a bit more rare, but admittedly, I do believe it can and has happened to some of us. Using the new Ascend feature has been really cool, and it surprised me as to how fun and useful it actually is. Ignore what you're seeing on screen right now. However, there is always the chance you ascend up to somewhere and just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, resulting in being bombarded by enemies and ultimately failing as the hero of Hyrule. Bit dramatic, but okay, Adam. Admittedly, yeah, you can investigate first before exiting, but I am bad for button mashing to just get out. And yeah, it isn't necessarily the smartest idea. And yeah, it's led to a few deaths. Funny enough, when I'm not in any trouble upon ascending, I end up accidentally going back down and having to redo the entire ascend. The extremely unfortunate player who comes across Gloom Spawn too early. Yes, that is the title of this type of death. If you know, you know. If you don't, allow me to explain. Gloom Spawn is this terrifying Dead Hand-esque enemy that can randomly spawn at a set location all across Hyrule. And the depths, which will just instantly hunt Link down and try to grab him. If you get caught by Gloom Spawn, good luck getting out. Whilst they look like gummy treats to eat, you sadly cannot eat them to beat them. The best way to escape is by reaching high ground. Damn it, this one's taken? But one, that isn't always possible, and two, they are very quick. Not just that, but upon defeating one, there is a chance that a second phase in the name of Phantom Ganon appears. Unless you're fully kitted out, then surviving this nightmare is near impossible. But hey, I do have a survival guide you can check out if you're interested. Nintendo really sat down during development and said, we need a little more nightmare feel in this game. Remember when we made fans piss themselves back in the day with Dead Hand? Let's do that again. And the Gloom Spawn was born. If you managed to survive all the way up to your first encounter with one of these, then I am so sorry for what you must have gone through. I am not ashamed to say that I absolutely crapped myself the first time I encountered one of these, and my screen went blood moon red, and the beast that is Gloom Spawn killed me. Oh, by the way, pro tip, just throw Dazzle Fruit at them and they'll start throwing jazz hands. Looking fabulous, guys. So, what are we saying to it? Did I mention the first type of death you experienced in Tears of the Kingdom? Let's go back to those comments and find out. If I did, then be sure to subscribe. If not, that's all good. Subscribing is then optional. I'm just kidding. If you want to see more videos in this sort of style, then let me know. I hope you enjoyed hearing about some of my bad gamer experiences in this game, and that you can hopefully relate to at least one or two. Special mention to Cat Bergerson, Zinc, and Triforce Trends for roasting me earlier, and being very kind towards my gaming abilities. Much appreciated, gentlemen. Oh, and of course, a big shout out goes to my channel supporters for helping to make these videos all the more possible, with a very special mention to new supporter, Ashley T. Thank you so much. If you'd like to join them in supporting this fabulous Zelda content, as well as get yourself some fun behind the scenes looks, a shout out upon joining, and your name on screen just like right now, then consider supporting via the links below. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have an amazing day or night, and until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.